Post-secondary education includes any education beyond high school, and because after high school education makes people more marketable labor-wise, getting it means a better chance for income mobility. The type of education which gears a student for a specific vocation is called vocational training. Currently, secondary institutions appear to focus on preparing students for college. In fact, the phrase post-secondary has become nearly synonymous with college, to the exclusion of vocational education, and to the extent that researchers studying what kids do after high school research which types of colleges they attend and why. And the implication there is that going to a good college is important for student success in the future. For example, Stearns, Potocznik, Moeller, and Southworth, 2009, conducted a study entitled High School Course Taking and Post-Secondary Institutional Selectivity. The researchers conducted a study on the variables which influence students to apply for more prestigious institutions. The researchers focused exclusively on academic colleges and universities, despite the title of the study describing the general post-secondary institutional selectivity. The researchers concluded their study with the admission that many students spend their high school careers preparing for college admissions. The focus on students' admission into various academic colleges and universities indicates the nondescript manner in which the public defines vocational educational facilities. Stearns, Potocznik, Moeller, and Southworth referenced a very well-known college ranking system for the traditional academic institutions. Vocational training institutions do not have the same rankings and publicity as traditional colleges, even at the regional level, where the industry standard for education may dictate which training facilities would best prepare students for that particular vocation. Furthermore, students who may wish to attend vocational training programs may find securing adequate guidance or funding to attend vocational training much more difficult than finding that same guidance and funding for academic institutions, such as colleges and universities. So what's the problem? The policy problem. Consider these statistics. 1 out of every 4 low-income dependent students fails to complete the free application for federal student aid, and 1 out of every 5 independent students fails to complete the application. And researchers such as Mari Luna Day allude some of the incomplete applications to the low-income students' perception that college is out of reach. Only 39% of low-income students graduate colleges that serve them. And from 1994 to 2004, the number of students getting federal loans for college increased by 125%. Hongwei, 2014. Low-income students attending 2-year degree programs took out fewer loans than those attending 4-year college degree programs. And in 2007, a public 4-year degree on average cost low-income families 48% of their income. And the Federal Reserve Bank of New York reported that from 1999 to 2011, student debt increased from $80 billion to $500 billion in 2011. The U.S. Department of Education lists 6 priority goals for the fiscal year 2014 to 15 on their website, of which increasing college degree attainment to 60% by 2020 is first on the list. Given low-income students statistically take longer to graduate, tend to work at least part-time while attending college, and tend to take out fewer loans to attend 2-year institutions, Hongwei, 2014, policymakers must consider the barriers that low-income students face when attending post-secondary programs, such as having to work full or part-time, or having to care for extended family members, and having to choose between higher, more unattainable costs of housing at universities away from their childhood homes, or having to pay for transportation to and from local community colleges. The obstacles to success for lower income students make longer programs more challenging for them, which may explain the relatively high dropout rates for low-income students attending 4-year programs. So, to the point, vocational programs which require more intensive training and less time than academic programs at colleges and universities may be more advantageous to these students. So what's the policy challenge? Preparing students for viable economic careers. When people are employed at higher rates, the economy flourishes. More people working for better wages, the more revenue the government will get to secure federal programs such as Social Security and Medicare. the public's purchasing power increases, and small businesses do better when more people can spend money. So what are policymakers doing to address that challenge? Well, they are focusing on college or university degree attainment as a main means for income mobility, and the government is addressing degree attainment through federal student loans, through college preparation in secondary institutions, and through strict academic standards in public secondary institutions. Why isn't it working? College debt has increased exponentially since the dawn of the new millennium, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Low-income students face obstacles towards degree attainment even when student aid is available, and less than 40% of them even graduate four-year institutions. So what are some of the proposed solutions? Well, some legislators have suggested making college free. At the state level, in Tennessee, high school seniors will be able to apply for 2 years of free college through a program called the Tennessee Promise. In January of 2015, President Obama announced his plan to take the Tennessee Promise to a national level, in 2015. The problem with free college is that, especially at the federal level, it's not entirely free. While an educated workforce could certainly benefit society as a whole, the obstacles facing lower-income students may still face them as they work toward a degree, and a 2-year degree is not necessarily as advantageous to those students as a 2-year vocational education. So what's the solution? If the government is already considering offering 2 years of college for free, and if low-income students must work through college even with federal aid, then the revenue generated from the workforce may not be enough to satisfy the cost of offering free college. However, if an investment in education were to be used to redevelop public high schools to offer more intensive vocational training and guidance for the already available vocational programs, then getting lower-income students directly into the workforce could be much more feasible, as they will already have the work skills necessary to enter paid apprenticeships or to enter higher-paying work world more directly.